What's up, YouTube? This is going to be your guide on how to use Brambleghast in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, let me know about it in the comment section. And if there's a moveset maybe you didn't see here or that's working well for you, let me know too. Without further ado, let's have a look at Brambleghast. So Brambleghast is... it's quite a unique Pokemon. So the first things you see about its stats are, of course, its attack and speed. So we've got a decent attack stat and a reasonable speed stat too. Apart from that, nothing really super like overpowered or really strong about it. So the problem I have with Brambleghast for its physical moveset, it is very barren. So I've sort of come up with a sort of a lead here, a physical lead that could work pretty nicely. So I've got the ability Wind Rider here. Wind Rider is a really cool ability. So if it does have a tailwind happen at the start of the battle, or if it gets hit by a wind move, and it also has the wind move immunity like Hurricane, etc. like that, it will get a +1 in attack, which is really nice on a physical set and great for a grass type Pokemon too. So I've got this Power Herb Phantom Force set. Now the reason I've done that is because on the physical side, as for ghost type moves, it is extremely barren. In fact, on the physical side, it is very barren in general. So we've got Shadow Sneak and Phantom Force as its two best moves. Shadow Sneak is very weak. It's only 40 base power, so I've gone with the Phantom Force there. So with Phantom Force, that allows me to use Phantom Force right away in one shot. And it's 90 base power, so it's reasonably powerful, and also gets through the Protect as well, which is nice. I've got Power Whip on there as its main stab for grass. 120 base power is pretty nice. And I've also got Rapid Spin to get away any Stealth Rocks and entry hazards. Also to boost its speed, because base 90 speed is okay, but it can be outsped. So after one Rapid Spin, it's pretty fast. And also I've given it Spikes as well. So this is sort of like a, I guess you could almost say anti-lead as well, physical lead. So I've also given it as the EV spread, max attack and max speed Jolly nature. So with Jolly, it gets a reasonable speed stat, and its attack stat is still decent as well. But that's probably one of the better sets you'll see for it. The problem is it's like, the main thing about this is it's got a nice attack stat, but its physical move pool is barren, right? There's not too many other things you can do with it. Now, for example, you could get rid of Spikes and give it Shadow Sneak as well, so you could double up on Shadow Sneak and Phantom Force. Another option you could give it as well, if you don't want to have Power Herb as the item, if you're not really concerned about it, taking a few turns to attack, you could put something else on there. So you could have options. You've got Life Orb on there, so you could do a little bit of extra damage. Another move that another item that could be handy might be Wide Lens too, for Power Whip. It is kind of, it is not the greatest accuracy move in the world. It's not bad. Now, another move you could also have on there, or item, sorry, you could have Ockerberry on there too, so that would need like 5-type moves and things like that. And let's look at the abilities and stuff like that. It also has Infiltrator, which isn't too bad, but I'd say Wind Rider most of the time is going to be handy, especially if you're going to play this as a lead. So that's sort of like a physical lead there that you could run there with, either if you want to run the Power Herb or another item. Next set that I've had some success with is the Loaded Dice set. So Loaded Dice is really nice, pardon the pun there, but it does hit 4 times, and 100 base power minimum on Bullet Seed is a really attractive option there. It can hit 5 times too, so that's 100 base power grass move, 100% accuracy, multiple hits, very good. I've given it Phantom Force as well. It's still a good move. It just doesn't hit as hard. You could have Shadow Sneak on there if you wanted to. I've also got Strength Sap here too. So Strength Sap is a really good move there. Not bad on any Pokemon like this too, because it's got some reasonable bulk after you've used it, especially against a physical attacker. Plus it heals you at the same time, so it's quite nice. I've also got Rapid Spin on there too. So you could easily run Shadow Sneak, get rid of one of these moves on there as well. Rapid Spin I put on there for a little bit of extra speed, and Bullet Seed. Phantom Force you've got there to hit Steel types. You could go Terra, I think like Terra Water on this could work too, if you wanted like another option. Let's say for example, Terra Blast. Instead of Grass, Bullet Seed, Loaded Dice, you could go Terra Water, that could work too. So you could have Wind Rider activate, or a flying type, or a fire type move coming your way. You could Terra into a water and then go hit them pretty hard there with Terra Blast Water and your base power. So that's another option you could do there. Just something Strength Up is kind of nicer. It's like a free heal, plus it gives you extra bulk too, especially when you're versing a physical user. So that's another option there for Brambleghast. Once again, it's difficult on the physical side because it is so barren. Now, this is more of a trolling set here for sure, but it does get something unique, which is block. And block and curse are quite interesting. So when you use the move Curse on a ghost type, instead of raising your defensive attack and lowering your speed, it'll actually cut away half of your health. So the idea with this set is to block the opponent in. Obviously, you're swapping in on a Pokemon that can't do a lot to you, or you think will swap and draw something else out. So you go for the block on the swap, and then you go for Curse there. So Curse is going to get rid of half health. Now, we've made this one very bulky, so I'm going to be able to live or have a good chance of living a physical hit, or you swapping it in on a setup Pokemon. So once you've blocked them in there and you've got the Curse up, you've put a Curse on them. So Curse will do a quarter damage to them every single turn. They won't be able to swap out, and you've also got Strength Sap to heal you right back, so you can do this whole song and dance all over again. I've also given it Giga Drain too as a way of recovering, plus the leftovers at the same time, plus Wind Rider for that wind immunity, and not really so much the attacking. Now you could use Infiltrator here. I just like Wind Rider. It's just quite nice against any of those flying type moves and such like that, or wind based moves, So yes, a bold nature as well, so making it very, very defensive. So that's an idea you could use as well. This one obviously takes a lot more prediction skills to use, so it's not as easy to use as the other one. So, and it can fail too, because you are giving up half your health. But if used in the right situation, you could probably shut down a bulky support Pokemon or something really, really annoying. Unless they had a lot of ways to heal themselves back over and over, it could turn into a stalwart. But another option there for Brambleghast. Next up, we got a special set here. Now, it doesn't have a bad special attack set. I've seen much worse in my time. We've got Timid Nature, Max Speed, and Max Special Attack as the EV spread. We've got Colbur Berry as the item. So this is going to halve the damage from super effective Dark type moves, which is going to be handy on a Ghost type, right? Because we're going to be doing this as Terra Ghost. So this set is made to be used alongside another Pokemon. For example, Toxapex, setting up the Toxic Spikes. And then you could go for Hex. Now, Hex will be double base power. So it'll be 130 base power with the Terra types stab there, or double stab, and that'll be doing heaps of damage, so that's really, really good. You've got Giga Drain there to heal yourself back. We've got Grassy Terrain too, which will be nice. It'll be powering up the Giga Drain there, plus Strength Sap to heal back even more. Once again, it is kind of barren on the special side. I'll show you that. I've got Infiltrator as the ability too, because Wind Rider doesn't really give much for attack. Well, we don't really need attack. And this would be kind of nice to get around those substitutes, Reflect, Light Screen, Safeguard, etc. like that. For the special set, it's about as barren as the other one. So this Pokemon seems to have a lot of grass. Mainly grass and ghost moves, which is alright for the special set. But outside of that, you're either going to need to go for something like Terra Blast, right? And then you could think of something. You might have to go for Ghost Terra Blast as well, but there's no real much point there unless you're going to change the Ghost Terra. And then Hex isn't as good there. But, I mean, you could, if you really wanted to, you could give it Water. That could be another option. You could also give it Steel, but that's a little bit risky. Just for those flying types and stuff like that. So yeah, I probably wouldn't do that because of the fire, but that's another option you could really do. But yeah, kind of difficult. It's very, very barren there. So that's why I just went for its two main stabs and went with, highest base power I could there with Hex, and an option there to get your health back with Strength Sap. So not too bad. And plus you can get around like moves like Sucker Punch too if you've got a status move, which is, always very, very handy there. So yes, that's another variant on Brambleghast you could go ahead and use. Next set, this one is, we'll go to the next one up. This is a Flinching set. So it does get some unique moves here. We've got Bullet Seed and we've got Beat Up too. So this one would be more preferred as a lead. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be going for a Terra Grass. So I want to go for Terra Grass and then use Curse. So that's going to boost my attack and defense. And it's not going to get rid of my health there, because I'll now be a grass type instead of a ghost. Then you've got Rapid Spin there to increase your speed, and then you could just spam Bullet Seed and beat up with King's Rock and hope for a nice little flinch there. But definitely a gimmicky set. I've given this one Animator because I want a little bit more damage output, and I've got Rapid Spin that can, fix the speed anyway. So probably good to set this one up against more of a passive Pokemon, because you're going to need a little bit of time to get that Curse and Rapid Spins going there, and then you can sort of, bust through them with the Bullet Seed and Beat Up combination. But yeah, that's another set you could try there for Brambleghast. This is a really, really bad set, but it's a trolling set. It's a Pip Night special there. So we got a Rollout set. Now, I did notice that Brambleghast actually got Rollout, which is pretty funny because it is a little tumbleweed. So I thought it does get Defense Girl. So we go for a Terra Rock set. So we could get through these fire types with Rollout. We've also got Strength Sap and Leech Seed. So at the start of the turn, you could possibly go for a Leech Seed, and then you could go for Defense Girl, or you just straight up set the Defense Girl up, depending on what the Pokemon. And, you could try and get your health back there with Strength Sap, and then do it all again after the Rollout has, finished there. So it's going to be repeatedly hitting for 5 turns. So you're going to get walled, obviously, but it could be a little bit of fun once you remove any steel counters and things like that. And, yeah, bit of a fun set. Item I've given it is the wide lens, just to make sure that the Rollout is not going to miss. You've got 99% accuracy there, so you'd have to be pretty unlucky for that one to miss. EV Spread's going to be max attack and max speed, Jolly Nature. But, yes, very, very gimmicky set there. This Pokemon, I just wish it wasn't as barren, in the moves that it got. It doesn't even get anything like, Shadow Claw, something like that. So it'd be just better if it got something like that. Its typing isn't all that bad either. It's just limited, So that's one of the problems I see with this. As for teammates, anything that is a Flash Fire Pokemon would be really, really good here. That could easily swap into Brambleghast weakness. Matter of fact, we've got some fire types here. A Fire and Normal wouldn't be too bad either. We do have Pyro. That could be a partner you could use for it. So that's not bad synergy there. So you could, obviously if you're worried about any Ghost type moves, you could go into Pyro, and if you're worried about any fire type moves, you could go into Pyro as well. Then maybe try and get yourself a little Moxie Sweep going. Another option we've got here, we could bring up some Flash Fire Pokemon. There are quite a few, so this is a bit risky with Cerulege there because it is also weak to Ghost. I probably wouldn't do that. Houndoom's not bad because it does resist Ghost, so you could go with Houndoom or Flareon. That's not a bad Pokemon either. Flareon's got some definitely good attack there, so you could sort of couple them together, and it does at least you can swap Brambleghast into a ground type move too. It's not going to get wrecked, so not a bad little matchup there. Another one you could use as well is what have we got? We got Colossal here with Steam Engine, so that's another one to use. Plus, you could swap it back into Brambleghast too, because this has a weakness to water, whether you could put this in. So not a bad little partner there too, if you wanted to try and bait out a Steam Engine if you really wanted to, or just like a sort of like a good partner combination. So let's have a quick little look here at any more final thoughts on Brambleghast. Let's have a look at doubles. I want to see if we've got anything I can give you for doubles. Yeah, there's not too much. Well, Strength Sap's actually quite nice, so I'd probably keep that. Let me go to its physical moves here. So Power Whip is always nice. So Strength Sap and Power Whip is good. Just thinking, Phantom Force is not bad either, because that does get around Protect, so I'd probably go with that. Just thinking some other moves here. Yeah, nothing really absolutely incredible there. We'll go to its status moves. Yeah, there's probably not too much I'd give it here. You kind of, it gets Protect, so I guess you could probably use that as well if you really wanted to. It does get Leech Seed, which isn't all that bad either. So you could go with something like this. I'd build it. You could build it sweeping if you wanted to. That could definitely work, but you could build it sweeping and bulky as well. So you could go either Jolly or Adamant. That gives it a lot of attack when you give it Adamant, or you could go something like this. Like, you could build it a little bit more tanky, you know what I mean? And you could go with Strength Sap, and that would work very, very nicely. So you could, live quite a few hits and then get the Strength Sap off there to heal you up again. So another option to use there. You could give it Ockerberry. That's an option you could use for it too. As for Infiltrator and Windrider, Windrider's still kind of nice there. So Tailwind is used a lot. Another good suggestion, you could use this in doubles with a Tailwind Pokemon. There is a lot of them, so let me bring up something that could, effectively work here. So any sort of Tailwind Pokemon would be, kind of nice to use here. We got Volcarina's not too bad there. That could work. You've got, I mean, Kilowattrel's not too bad either. I'm trying to think of something that would work here. So we got Pelipper. Pelipper isn't too bad there because you could, use these together with Wind Rider, so that could set the rain up, right? If you had Drizzle, you could even Tailwind to set your rain up, so that would be good. That would also power down... I'm not going to make a full-on Pelipper set, but you sort of get the idea there. So you got the Drizzle set, you'd leave it that in Brambleghast, so that's going to power down any Fire-type moves used against Brambleghast too. And yeah, you can also increase the attack of it with the Wind Rider, so that could be a nice little option there for you to use. Sort of a good sort of couple there. Both these Pokemon could work well together. So, and then you could have stuff like Hurricane and things like that too. So yeah, there's another little type combination there for doubles you could use if you got your mind set on using Brambleghast. It is a unique Pokemon, I'll give it that, but I just wish it got a few more moves, It's got some good attack stat. As for like a bulky stalling Pokemon, you could also do this too. I'm trying to think like a really bulky defensive wall could absolutely work. I did do ones here. Let's build like a really bulky defensive wall. So grass type Pokemon don't make bad defensive walls at all. So it does get Leech Seed, which is great. So we could start with that. We've got Strength Stat, which is also a very nice move on like a stalling Pokemon. I'm going to try and make this different to the cursing one. So we've got those attacking moves. It's nice to have Giga Drain on there. And if a grass type Pokemon does come in, you could have Nightshade. So that's some fixed damage there. Since we're not running any EVs at all. So that's another option you could do. You could also have... another option you could do on there. What are we? We're dropping attack at the moment. You could go... Actually, I would go... We could go relaxed as well. If you want to have like at least a physical move on there, if you feel like that's, sort of wasting it, you could also... Let me switch over here to Phantom Force, because, while you disappeared, you'll get some, you'll get some Leech Seed and stuff back there too. So that's another bulky set you could use, like a defensive set. I could definitely see that working. It would be very, very hard to take out on the defensive side there, especially with Strength Sap, the recovery on leftovers, Giga Drain, and Leech Seed there. That would be very, very nice as a defensive wall. I could definitely see that one working. Let's have a little bit more of a Bo Peep at the stats here. Okay, we have Substitute on here too, so you might be able to do something with Substitute. I haven't really thought of something you could do there. It also gets Confuse Ray. That's more just trolling if you want to make the opponent upset and stuff like that. I'm thinking like an absolutely dedicated lead here. I'm going to try and make this different to my... Okay, so this one... Alright, so we got Spikes and Strength Sap, right? So I've got this as a lead one. Yeah, let's go as a pure lead Pokemon. So we're going to build this bulky. We also want to see what other moves it gets here. So Rapid Spin's a good one too. I think this is going to be almost the same as what I did before. Just trying to think of, a Phantom Force. A problem Pokemon would be Garganacl as well, because I would be able to eat up those Phantom Forces really easy. So you could go with, Power Whip too, then you're sort of walled by Steel. So I'd probably still go with Phantom Force. So you could do something like that if you wanted more bulk. Sort of depends what you kind of want to do there. So you could go defensive here as well. So that's another option you could use. Kind of similar to my other one, but more based around Spikes. As for item... even just something like Leftovers would work fine on this kind of set there. It's difficult because it's just so barren, But that's another option you could do. So as a lead Pokemon, of course, to get some spikes set up. This is a good Pokemon too because it can spin block too, and it can spin itself. So kind of nice there. If you want to set your own spikes up, they can't get rid of them and things like that. So I like that sort of niche part about Brambleghast there. Another one you could go for is a weakness policy sweeper. So let's do that. It's got some good potential there with Shadow Sneak. Go Power Whip, of course. Okay, we got that. I like to always go Jolly, that gives it a good speed set. So yeah, so we could go weakness policy. That could absolutely work there. I can see that working very, very well. As for physical, look, I would possibly... This isn't bad. This is a bit of a troll set, but you could also go normal on there too for the Terror type. I know what you think. It's not bad to get around the Ghost weakness, and you could give a Facade too. That's another option. That wouldn't be bad on the physical set, because in case if someone did burn you, you could go ahead and do that. Or you could even go for just Terror Blast. Terror Blast would be a little bit more powerful, but if someone did manage to status you with Will-O-Wisp and things like that, Facade could work. So I'd probably keep Facade on there, because you are definitely a physical attacker. Another move that could work on here, you could put Phantom Force on there too. It's just so dang barren, you know. So it does have Rollout there, so you could actually, we'll go Terror Blast. We'll go Terror Blast. You could go Terror Rock as well, but then you have to change the normal up. So yeah, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there. So I'd go with something like that. Or we'll give it another status move. The thing about Shadow Sneak is it's just going to be really, really weak, you know. Okay, yeah, there's not a lot else you could actually, probably do with this one. If you wanted to do something like this could also work. Let's say Weakness Policy, but build it bulky. That way we don't have to worry about speed, so we can really, really maximize its attack there. So, the Shadow Snakes would be coming in fast. Actually, this is even better. How about this set? I like this. So, this is actually not too bad. So, with this set, I really like this. So, you've got enough bulk to live a super effective attack, right? You've got Shadow Snake Stab, which is great, and it's going to be going first. You've got Power Whip for some good power there. You've got Facade if you do get burned and stuff like that. After you start healing yourself, the opponent may be inclined to try and throw a Toxic on, and that's going to help you power up the Facade. And if you expect a Ghost type come in, you can go, oh, I'll go Terror Ghost and then Shadow Snake. So, not a bad set there. As for abilities, I'm pretty happy with Wind Rider. That's going to be boosting his attack on top of that as well. So another option there to use for Brambleghast. But yeah, I think that's it, people. I've absolutely squeezed as much out of this dry little tumbleweed as possible. To sum things up, Brambleghast is an interesting Pokemon. It's got pretty unique typing there. It's not overpowered typing for sure. The main thing that you'll be seeing it for is probably a physical sweeper. It'll be a spin blocker as well. Might set a few entry hazards up. You might come across a loaded die set with Bullet Seed. But the thing about it is, you know that it's only got a few physical moves. It's very barren, so you pretty much know when you see a physical attacker, it's going to only be able to do certain things. So a Ghost move and a Grass move, which will help you, definitely work around that. Any Steel type Pokemon are going to be pretty good against this too. Any Fire types will be good. Any Ghost types are going to be strong against it as well. But yeah, interesting Pokemon. It's just a pity it didn't have more moves to choose from. Great ability though. Really like that ability. So if you want to use that in doubles, I say there's a good potential there with Pelipper and stuff like that. I already talked about it. And yes, that's about it for Brambleghast. I will be putting another couple of guides up after this one, so make sure you check them out there. If you enjoyed it, if you found it insightful and helpful, make sure you do hit a like button. And if you want to check the playlist out, it's at the end of this video. I've done like so many of the Gen 9 Pokemon already. All right, people. Peace out.